Hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Tuesday, the show that puts glennzb into your virtual headset. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world, and the world to New Zealand. And thanks Jared. Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad that's all sorted now. Nothing to see here with this whole Russian business. Because he's come out and he said he did not collude with Russia. So, no reason not to believe him. Because, we've never seen anybody go out in public and say things that were blatantly untrue before. This guy definitely did not have sexual relations with that woman. This guy was definitely not a crook. And I definitely have my finger on the pulse of news and current events, and I know what I'm talking about. So stop beating up this meeting with Russians story. There's nothing to see here. Move on. Move on to the arsehole of the world. And if you thought it was Palmerston North, it's not quite. It's a little bit further south and to the right. The Manawatu Gorge. Authorities are having to relook at its decision to keep open the walking and cycling tracks. Of course, the road's been basically written off because hillsides keep falling down on top of it, which is not that conducive to safe driving conditions. Turns out, even walking or cycling might be a bit dodge. So, basically, what we're saying is, go the long way. Go the long way. Move further south now. We've got one of these weird situations where I've got two stories and I can't help thinking, although they seem to be on the surface about different things, whether they are connected. Researchers at Otago University, so that's in Dunedin, are excavating and analysing skeletons from graves and unmarked graves in St John's Burial Ground in Tokuiti. They've exhumed 25 bodies to see if they could be identified. Apparently, this is so we can learn things about the early settlers. Meanwhile, in Invercargill, so that's just down the road a bit, they've added a special burial method to one of their city's cemeteries. Natural burial is now available. So basically, you can be just stuck in the ground. Now, I haven't been able to make the connection between digging bodies up in Dunedin and burying bodies in a weird way in Invercargill. But there's a spooky coincidence there, don't you think? You'd think, since I printed out that headline and those stories, I would have been able to make that connection now, and certainly connect them in a humorous way that would be entertaining for you. And yet, no. So what's going on there? Finally, this is just instantly funny. It's hilarious because it's a pun from the newsroom. Some producers are labelling bacon as being made in New Zealand. Well, they could be telling porkies. Thank you and good night. There's a loophole in our labelling laws. The Pork Industry Board says imported pork can be called a product of New Zealand if it's made into sausages, bacon and ham once it gets here. I don't know how... people are always wanting people to get upset about not knowing where your food comes from. But I don't care how my food works, as long as it does. And I certainly don't care where it comes from, as long as I can melt cheese on it. I am glennzb. Thank you so much for having me in your virtual headset. I am very hungry now, so I'm going to go off and see if I can put something in my belly. I'll see you back here again tomorrow.